or we are recording, everybody. So if your camera is on, know that we are recording. I will not be posting this anywhere in the public. I record this, as you guys know, so we can I can repost this on YouTube. So for you only. All right, let's switch camera views. There it is. Okay, who's ready to cook? Everybody. Terrence is ready. Chris ready. Orlando. All right, switching over. Here we go. Japanese cuisine. Welcome to Japan. Not literally, obviously, but tonight we're going to be covering Japanese. I think it's one of those unsung heroes of the Asian cooking world, right? If I get too nerdy, will you guys tell me? Because you know, before I was on TV, I was an actual cooking teacher. That's how Allie and I met, by the way, in case you didn't know that. And I'm gonna look for your emojis and be like, you falling asleep means I need to slow down. Okay. So the rules of the road. Thank you very much. Again, you guys know the dollars go to Tad, who's our chef. The dollars go to cover just the cost, and then we're going to go to charity. I am going to make the judgment call for this week and continue to do the pediatrician's office that is donating PPP to children's hospitals. Any disagreements, let me know. So I'm looking at you guys. Okay, thumbs up, and I can see the screen. So if you have any issues with that, let me know too. I feel like we should do a sushi rolling class because we just did one on Food Network Kitchen. It might be time to do one just privately here because I won't post that on Instagram because I don't want to compete with the Food Network feed. So yes, okay, here we go. Bring the nerdy, here it is. Japanese cuisine is very different than all the other classes we're gonna do here because whereas Thai food and Chinese food, which we've done in the last 2 and 3 weeks, is really about taking an ingredient and forcing flavor upon it, right? We already know, because you've been with me, some of you, for 3 weeks, hot, sour, salty, sweet, and savory is basically thrust upon an ingredient. So if I have chicken, it's gonna taste like General Tso's, or I'm gonna make it taste like, orange chicken. I'm gonna make it taste a certain way with Thai food and Chinese food. Japanese food is a very different approach. It's really about highlighting the flavor of said ingredient. Tonight we have black cod. Tonight we have steak. And so that Japan is an island, as we know, and it's a lot of rocky terrain. Okay, so seafood is pretty abundant, but when you get to ingredients, it's all about celebrating the ingredient at its peak and really appreciating the flavor of said ingredient. So the way we approach seasoning Japanese food is more delicate. It's deliberate and it's thoughtful, okay? So whereas in Chinese food and Thai food, we played with fish sauce and chilies and limes and tamarind and oyster sauce, we're really just focusing on a few fundamentals, right, in the Japanese kitchen, which is a double-edged sword because it makes it kind of easy, but it's deceptively easy, right? So to master it will take time. The nice thing is we jump into it and it's kind of easy to begin with. And then we start to do it over and over again, and it gets better and better because we find the nuances. So that's it. Instead of soy sauce, and well, we are going to play with soy sauce, but it's a different kind. So let's get down to the pantry. I don't want to, again, I'm getting too nerdy and no one's fallen asleep yet, all right? The principles of Japanese cooking from an ingredient point of view are 3 ingredients that you master, okay? And those are dashi, soy sauce, and mirin. Dashi, soy sauce, and mirin, I'm gonna explain that to you shortly. Plus, we're gonna teach you how to cook rice from a Japanese lens and learn how to take it seriously. And then we're kind of good to go. So I say, let's start with dashi, soy, mirin, okay? First one's the easy one. So Tad did all my prep, sorry. So I just disappeared from the camera. Soy sauce. The Japanese take every single ingredient very seriously, including soy sauce. So I'm gonna can I take 2 minutes? I can see you guys now. I love this setup because I can see you guys. If you give me a head nod, if I could take 2 minutes and get nerdy on soy sauce, okay? We good? Yeah, all right. So imagine in your mind a soybean. It's the edamame. You go to the Japanese restaurant, and you're like, is it good for you? It's a protein, yada, yada. It's really not. In that form of a soybean or an edamame, it's a vegetable. You eat it and guess what happens? It goes right through you, like most vegetables, okay? So somehow 2,000 to 3,000 years ago, they figured out we need to process this bean to really unlock so many properties. A, the protein, B, the umami, because that soybean becomes soy sauce. And I'll just tell you how they do it really quickly, right? You steam that soybean, okay? You dry it into a very hard bean, like you see in all dried beans, like pinto beans, garbanzo beans. You steam that bean to open it up and release its potential. You salt it, and you add koji, which is a bacteria. And don't freak out, cheese has bacteria, beer has bacteria, all that stuff. Anything fermented has bacteria. And that soybean ferments, okay? First, it starts in a pale yellow, and then it starts to go a little brown, and then it starts to go dark red. And that fermented soybean paste has a very specific name. That's miso. So we understand that edamame becomes miso. Now, in ancient times, it wasn't called miso, it was called mesho. So now you take that really ultra fermented miso, but you don't smash it into a paste, it's just the bean itself, and you add water to it and you brew it like coffee. So this water starts to break down that ultra fermented bean, and then you smash it, extract the liquid, and you get shoyu. Like, to those of you that love food, this is really awesome. For those who just want to eat, you're like, this is boring as hell. I totally get it. So just to understand that we've taken the edamame, we've gone one way to make miso, which makes soy sauce. Let's go the other way now. Let's take, what's up? Allie's making fun of me. I know, I'm getting super nerdy tonight. You guys are like, you're like, why we didn't do so many dishes? Because I'm really teaching tonight. And like, you're either gonna love it or hate it. And we'll do the poll later on. Let's go the other way with the edamame. Let's take that soybean, again, from the dry state and boil it, right? Instead of steam it. And let's boil it until it starts to break down, almost falls apart, right? Like a garbanzo bean making hummus. Let's smash those boiled soybeans with a big stone, and the liquid that comes from it is actually white and milky. We've just made, waiting for it. We've just made soy milk. Now you take that soy milk and you add other things like bacteria to make it coagulate and congeal, and the sticky stuff rises to the top, and the whey kind of stays on the bottom, and you harvest those curds, and guess what we made? Mouth it, someone mouth it. Yes, tofu, Rolando, gold stars, okay? And then you press that tofu from silken to soft to medium to firm to vacuum pack. And that's it. Again, that's probably the deepest nerdiness we're gonna get all night. It only took 5 minutes to really explain the edamame journey to miso, soy sauce, and tofu. So I'm done there, all right? So what you want to look for is, I look for a Japanese soy. We all buy kikuman a lot, and guess where kikuman's made, right? Kikuman is actually, most of this is made here domestically. So if you want to get really nerdy, you want to get the stuff from Japan, like Sherry is saying, it's aged in really nice barrels. It's really from high quality salt and high quality soybeans. So if you took a bottle of domestic kikuman and you went and invested in a little bottle of Japanese soy and you did a taste test, you can really taste the difference. It's like wine. You could buy vin de box, or you could buy a really expensive bottle of wine. It's very, very similar. It's still grapes and fermentation, but that's it. So that's soy. Let's go to mirin really quick. All right. This is basically, you know how they've always fooled you and told you sake is rice wine? It's actually not true, okay? If you take a grain, right, and that grain here is rice, and if you add a bacteria and you ferment that grain and you add water and let it ferment, it's not really wine, because wine should be made from fruit. Do we agree? Like grapes? So if you made an alcoholic beverage from a grain, you've really made, Allie, beer. Allie's very good. That's it. So lower, I know you know your liquor. Yeah, exactly. So sake is truly more of a rice beer than it is a rice wine, to be honest with you. Okay. Now, if you add sugar to that simple rice wine, oh, I hate saying it because it's bullshit. Sorry, I cursed. Anyway, we're all adults. If you add a little sugar and you make that rice alcohol, which they call sake, into mirin. Does that make sense? So all mirin is, guys, is a rice beverage. I can't say rice wine because it's a lie, although it's labeled that way, all right? Other little known fact, if you go to Japan and you say, hey, I want sake now, you don't get the sake, that clear liquid that you think about, that we've been talking about. Sake is a general term for all booze. That's all sake is. So it's all alcohol. It just means alcohol. If you want to sound like an expert in a Japanese restaurant, you ask for nihonshu. May I have nihonshu? And they would bring you what we call sake. Anyway, getting super nerdy. No one's falling asleep. Terry's falling asleep. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. No, so I'm so kidding. Chris, no. So all right, let's stop getting nerdy. If you like it, tell me. I'll do more. But anyway, let's. And the last ingredient is actually called dashi. What is dashi? All it is, guys, is a simple fish stock. But unlike French stock, which American stock is based upon European stock, you're taking bones, putting water in it, and adding some aromatics. Dashi is totally different. We're going to make it in a second, but it's made from this. It's made from that. This stuff is awesome. This is basically dried bonito flakes. Bonito is a cousin, more nerd info, Laura says. And everyone else is like, stop it. Yeah, exactly. Love the nerd. Okay, we have a few nerds with me, all right? If you took bonito, which is a fish, and you filleted it, and you smoked it and dried it, and you shaved it very thin, that's how you make this. This is called katsuobushi, or katsuo for short, okay? And again, it gets super nerdy, but that's what I love about Japanese cuisine. So you buy the bag of katsuo, and we're gonna make dashi together. You add kombu, which is a sea kelp. Think about the kelp stringers you see at like big aquariums. That's the same kelp. When you take the kelp, yes, all new packages for you because you guys are worth it. When you take that said kelp and you dry it, this magic stuff appears on top. This is natural sea salt. And this is those compounds that we are always trying to create umami with. These are the glutamates right here. So MSG was made to mimic this product, the kombu flavor, right? So there it is. I'm gonna show you how to use that, make that in like 5 minutes. So dashi soy mirin. What is the impact of dashi soy mirin? Have you had Japanese soups? Udon broth. Have you had ramen broth? Dashi soy mirin, okay? Have you had teriyaki? We're gonna do dashi soy mirin. Have you had tensuyu, which is tempura sauce? Just different ratios of dashi, soy, and mirin. Pretty amazing that this culture has built all these flavors on 3 basic principles, and we're gonna get there. Let's make rice, okay? So we're cooking in real time. What kind of rice? This is let me get a glass bowl. This is a Japanese short grain rice. So we're good, guys. Give me a thumbs up if the connection is stable and the picture's good. All right, cool. Got a lot of thumbs up. Yeah, we bought your own internet connection for you because I was so pissed last week at that darn internet going down. It's never going to happen again. So we gave you our dedicated server. Japanese short grain rice. Actually, Ali, you want to come in for a move, just a quick move? I'm going to put some grains on the table just so you guys can see how small this rice is. Are you admitting everyone in? Cool. Yeah, sorry. No problem. Okay, cool. So come on in. Now look at how fine that grain is. We identify rice as long, right? Like long grain. It's like little pearls. Okay. This is a very specific type of rice, but it kind of talks to kind of how rounded and pearly versus long grain. So let me teach you how to cook this stuff. Okay. Rice did not grow out of the ground like that, right? Rice has a husk. That husk is broken off, and then it has a bran, which brown rice is, what has the bran on it. And then you have to polish off the brown rice to make white rice. Do you know how they polish it? A little Asian dude sits there and, I'm kidding, that's not true. I could say that, I'm Asian, all right? So let me teach you how to cook this rice. All right, some of you at least are laughing. Calrose is a rice I've heard of, yes. So sherry, Calrose is great. And this is the same rice that you would cook to eat with foods like we're doing tonight as you would make sushi with. Same rice, all right? Because of the trade with America and Japan, this is Japanese rice grown in America. So this comes from Sacramento. So all the rice that we buy in the States that's Japanese is actually Japanese by what it is, like by the type, but it's been brought to America and grown here. Okay, so just so you know, and it's still really good rice. Is that usually a sushi section of the Asian market? So giant bags, Jill. All your, yeah. So when you go, you don't need to go to the sushi section of the Asian market. The rice section of the Asian market will have the short grain rice. It'll be, if it says sushi rice on it, it's fine. If it says Japanese short grain, it's fine. And the brands that I like are Calrose, Botan, Nishiki. Those are the three big national brands, just so you know. Okay, is usually okay. So yeah, I think I'm getting all the questions. All right, thumbs up. All right, guys, let's cook this rice. Now here's the good news. All this like magic and lore and as serious as it is, yeah, I'll say the rice brands again. The cooking of Japanese rice is actually easier than the cooking of Thai jasmine rice. So here are the three brands that you can find nationally: Cal Rose, like California Rose, Nishiki, or Botan, B-O-T-A-N. Okay, oh good, yeah. So you, Sherry's got it right there. Very nice. So here's the magic of this rice. Your ratios of water to rice are simple. It's 1 to 1, 98% of the time. 1 cup rice. So I'm going to measure, okay? I have 1 cup and I have another cup. So I'm going to cook 2 cups right now. So if I'm putting 2 cups of rice, what's my final measurement of water to rice? 2 cups to 2 cups, right? Do you want to know? You guys can nod or something if you want to know when those 2% of the times you might need to change your water. Does anyone want to put your thumbs up or, yeah, okay, yeah, sign, okay, real simple. You're like, don't go on a tirade, Jet. I'm like, I won't. Allie wants to know. If you ever see a bag say new crop, that means it's new rice. New rice has a higher percentage of residual moisture, needs 10% less water. So 1 to 1 minus 10%. Really on the simple end, okay? Allie's gonna go with me to the, we're gonna see our sink. You've never seen our sink before. Join me at the sink, everybody. So Allie's just gonna key in on that bowl of rice. All right, so here's how to wash rice. Ice cold water, I mean cold out of the tap is what I'm talking about, okay? Now, this is called rice washing. Say that eight times fast. Notice what I'm doing. I'm just taking the rice grains, guys, and I'm working the water into the rice, okay? And I'm basically getting rid of all that microfine rice dust, the starch that poor Asian dude had to, like, you know, individual, I'm kidding. So the milling, which what we call milling, has created that dust. So now I'm just gonna pour out. Water in, water out. You know, the washing only lasts for a minute. I don't want you to wash the entire time because you actually start to break down the rice grain, right? So I've done washing. Washing just means running my fingers through and then pouring the water out. So if you are like my Japanese master, I'm gonna bring my other phone here to get questions. Do you have any questions? Nice sink. Yeah, it's a big old sink. I needed a big sink. If you guys want to type a question, I can see it. So if you follow the rules like Ali Tila, you're going to wash this rice until it runs clear, which could be 7 to 10 times. I'm not. If you're like Jet Tila, relatively clean is going to be fine, and I'm good right there. Okay, so washed. Now we rinse. Okay, so I just put it in a colander because I want to get rid of the residual moisture that I see here. This can be done a night ahead, okay, and put in the refrigerator and held. Like when I used to run sushi bars in restaurants, I would have the guys do this the night before. We can come back the next day. So that's it. That's washing and rinsing. Back to the original position here. And remember the ratio? I have 2 cups of rice, and I'm just going to need 2 cups of water now. So do you need a rice cooker? Negative. Right? I'd like you to use a heavy-ish pot though, instead of a rice cooker. Man, I'm really taking chances tonight. I'm really trying to make a mess to clean up later. So now you're like, well, if you're kind of nerdy like I am, I didn't get all the water out of there, guys. So 2 cups to this would be 2 cups plus all that residual moisture. So I'm gonna take out 10%. Does that make sense? So I'm gonna do I'm gonna do just less than 2 cups. So there's 1 in there. Sorry, I'm disappearing on you guys. And then I'm gonna do 1 more cup minus roughly 10%. And I know I'm gonna be close. So that's it. That's how I make rice. I'm gonna put this over heat. I want a lid on this guy, and then I'm going to put it on the heat. Where's my lid? There it is. Heavy lid. And this is gonna be the nerdiest class of the whole series. So the questions will be at the review, did you like this or not, okay? The other ones will be more Food Network style. And that's it. All right, so rice cooks for 18 to 22 minutes, depending on the volume. Rice doubles in size. So 2 cups is gonna make 4. Another thing I usually think, if I'm making dinner, I'm cooking about ½ cup per person. Okay, because then it ends up being 1 cup. And usually those proportions work very well with a meal for people. That's how I gauge how much I'm gonna make. All right, let's make miso soup. You guys ready? I'm looking at how much heat. I want you to go full heat until you hit a rolling simmer, reduce that to a rolling boil, sorry, and then reduce that down, Mary, until you see a little simmer, and just let it cruise. Don't check it for at least 18 minutes. If you know it's simmering, you can tell by the amount of bubbles there, all right? At the 20th minute to 22nd minute, turn off the heat. Finally, you're gonna let rice rest. Everyone raise your right hand. I can see you. I can see you. All right, Mary, raise your right hand. Yes, Marcy, thank you. I promise to let my rice rest at least 20 minutes. Okay, you took the oath, because that is the stage where rice comes back to become nice and firm and gives you mouthfeel. If you just ripped into rice and we're like, oh, I'm just gonna go for it, you break it up because it's too delicate. Okay, let's make miso soup. Man, I've talked a lot. Jeez. Ay, ay, ay. It's been like 15 minutes of straight talking. Now let's just get into the action, all right? Miso soup first. Allie, come on and join me if you want here. I have a pot of water going. All right, I'm gonna teach you now how to make dashi. Tell me if I'm in your ways, honey. No, so, okay, good. If you're good, then I'm good. All right, I have a pot of water. I'm starting with cold water always. Never start miso soup with hot water, because again, you don't want to overboil those bonito flakes, and you don't want to overboil the kombu. If you need something for a better shot, you let me know. You're the boss. This is like, it's like cooking with friends. You're the boss. Everyone heard it, okay? Everyone knows. You heard it, all right? Now, you promise. Okay, good. So this water is still cool to the touch. Never let your dashi water rise above a simmer. You're not allowed to go above a simmer, okay? So as this is coming up, I'm thinking about the prep. So making dashi. First thing I'm gonna do is take a piece of kombu, and I'm not wiping off any of that gorgeous natural kind of, I call it sea salt, although it's not technically salt, right? It's all that umami laden kind of kelp. So that's gonna go into the water and start to develop flavor, okay? The next thing I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna do it in a smarter way. I'm gonna get a sieve here. What's up? They can see my behind? I'm kidding. Oh, lost video? Can you see? No, it's just there. Oh, got it. Here, let's do this. Sorry, guys. Stand by. Let's do that. Let's do that, and then switch cameras. Oh, where's this guy? Where are we? The move made this go wonky for some reason. If you can hear me, we're working on it, guys. Now it's the camera. Now I need to buy a new bloody camera. Okay, I know we're back. All right, good. Sorry about that. Don't judge dashi. Okay, here, you're back. Okay, good. Don't judge, but I use dashi packs because I couldn't find individual ingredients. I wouldn't judge you at all. You know what? Even Japanese restaurants use instant dashi, the granulated stuff, which is called hondashi. So, really? Yeah, of course, it's like a common thing. So, guys, don't feel bad about that at all. All right. Okay. I know most restaurants, maybe 5% of restaurants that you eat at make dashi this way. Probably 90% of restaurants use the packets. Okay. So I'm putting a strainer in. And I'm going to now take my bonito flakes and check it out. Rain in the bonito flakes to steep them. Okay. Now, like there are a lot of rules, and again, they're simple. Number one, don't let the water get to deeper than a simmer. Number two, don't smash these bonito flakes. I'm just keeping them nice and gentle. I'm not squeezing because it's smoked. That's too much flavor, right? I don't want to make this taste like a smoky soup. It should just have beautiful notes and hints of smoke to it, and that's really kind of the soul of this. Do you guys want to see the kombu? If you want to see the kombu, I'll pick it up. If you have any questions, just type it in, guys. So there's the kombu, and I could put the kombu in with the katsuobushi if I want to. And if you're like, dude, screw this, I am not making dashi from scratch, you can buy hondashi, which is the instant dashi. The temperature of the water is still under a simmer, guys. So I'm basically letting it come up until it hits about a simmer, and then I know that I've steeped the actual katsuobushi, and it's coming up fast. So I know I'm almost there. If I start to see scant bubbles, what I love about this platform is, you know, you can actually see this is 150 right now. I'm not going to let that get to more than about 180 degrees. Okay, and then I'm going to stop because that is the perfect temperature to stop steeping those bonito flakes. Now, the next thing I want you to know is you can actually make dashi again with this by putting this back in, the actual katsuobushi, and then adding a little more katsuobushi, because this is what we call in Japan ichiban, or the first one. That's good, babe. Good job. Yeah, you're poor. If you're missing it, Allie's like hunched over with the camera. She's getting her core work in. Yeah, I know. I think it gives good. I think it gives you a good picture though. Okay, I'm about 180 degrees, family, and then what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give it a stir, but never smash. I'm going to lift, and I'm going to save this to make dashi again by adding more, which would be called second dashi. Another thing you do is if you have cats, they will fight for this stuff. It's super delicious to them. It's basically just fish flakes. So that's it. This I'll reserve and I'll hold, and good. So who's cooking along? We good? If you're cooking along, give me a thumbs up. All right. 180 degrees. I'm not going to let this simmer. Now I'm going to show you how to make miso soup. Now this gets easy. All right. New ingredient to play with that you'll love. Our cat is already enjoying it. Good for you. All right. Wakame seaweed. Wakame seaweed. Okay. It's another type of seaweed that they use. You know what? If you guys, trivia, who did I battle in Iron Chef America? No, Al, you're not allowed. Who did I battle? Iron Chef America. And what battle was it? No one's allowed to jump over to Google. Okay. I'm waiting for the answer. This is how to reconstitute wakame. This is how you make the dried little flaky wakame. Like they're just basically like desiccated bits. I'm turning off my heat because I don't want this to boil. This is how you make this into this, which is the actual rehydrated, AKA reconstituted. So check it out. All you have to do, guys, is put this in super hot water. If you have an Insta-Hot from the tap, that's cool. If not, basically bring water to about a simmer or under, throw your wakame flakes in there, throw the hot water, and they basically grow about 5 to 10 times in size. That's it. That's wakame seaweed. Morimoto, very good, Ashley. Yes, I battled Morimoto, and the battle was seaweed. My poor ass had to go up against my idol, and I had to do 8 different types of seaweed against Morimoto. So basically, they loaded the battle, right? They basically brought me in to lose. All right, she Googled it, I bet. I know, not a lot of mess talking today. Usually, like the last 2 classes, you know, a lot of innuendos, a lot of like crap talking. I love it. Not tonight. Feel free, guys. Let it rip. We are all family here. These are serious. You know what? They took Japanese class. This is serious, okay? Okay, the hard part is done. If you are making dashi to hold, you can actually take it off the stove. You can put it in the fridge, either in a quart cup or a Tupperware or a zippy bag. You can freeze it if you want to, but you've just made dashi. Now, with dashi soy and mirin, you can make noodle broth, you can make sauces, you can make ramen, you can make a bunch of different things. There's 3 kinds of miso soup in Japan. that are kind of celebrated. Like you can order in restaurants, right? You can have a tofu miso soup, which we're gonna make tonight. You can have mushroom miso soup, which I'm making mushrooms and tofu because you guys are awesome. And then the final one is clam miso. But miso soup is a beautiful base for just about anything. If you have really beautiful shrimp, you can do miso soup. So anything from the ocean, lobster miso, you can do anything you want. So I'm gonna turn my heat down to a simmer on the rice now. No Google on that one. She's like, I did that, bro. Good job. So, okay, Allie, I'm gonna trouble you again to come on in tight because I'm gonna show them how to finish miso soup. This is a lot. I mean, Japanese, there's a lot of info, isn't it? I know. No one's bored yet? I haven't lost anyone yet? Not yet. Okay, so sounds good. So here we go. Tofu is silken here. You could use, I wouldn't use anything too firm because I want a beautiful mouthfeel. Mushrooms are just fresh shiitake mushroom. If you don't have shiitake, you could use buttons, you could use creminis. You don't have to get fancy, okay? So, but I wouldn't use those fancy French mushrooms, okay? Because I think that they have too much flavor. You want a nice kind of mushroom to perfume. I'm gonna do the wakame seaweed now. And now I'm gonna show you how we work the miso in. This is when we need the lovely Ali Tila to do awesome camera work. So in order to get, you screwed up the reconstitution water not hot enough, you're eating it anyway. Yes, you go, Terrence. Who cares, man? This is where you learn. Take a sieve that has slightly larger holes, okay? And then you take miso, and I'm gonna work the miso into the soup via this sieve, okay? And that's how you get a super smooth miso soup. And this is definitely one of my favorite things to make on any day because I love miso soup. And the way I eat it is with an obscene, almost the restaurants basically get offended. It's an offensive amount of green onions. So that's how I like it. So because the miso is kind of ground soybeans, it's not going to be super even. You're going to have little bits, variation in bits, but this is how you get a super smooth miso soup. See how these big chunks aren't going to filter through? And that's it. So the salt for miso soup comes from the miso, from nothing else. I added no soy sauce, no salt. So I need to taste this soup. That's perfect right there, Ali. Thank you. So if I'm like, I need more salt, you're going to add salt via miso. And that's it. So if you have red miso, can you use it? That's a great question, C Hill. Absolutely. In fact, different parts of Japan use different kinds of miso because that's what's kind of what's favored or traditional. My master, my sushi teacher, my Japanese cooking instructor, he was from a part of Japan that only did red miso soup. So I started only with red miso soup. Now, all you're missing now is let's add tofu. And that's just cut into little bits. And then finally, we're gonna go scallions. And again, how much is up to you, but I'm kind of a freak when it comes to scallions personally. And I'm gonna show you another trick. If you don't want to use the knife, I use the scissors. So there it is, guys. I don't want that miso soup to go more than a simmer. So I'm gonna put this in a bowl. We're gonna do a close-up of it. And then I'm gonna basically take questions if you have any. So let's play it up. The difference between red miso, white miso, and yellow miso. Ooh, anyone want to answer that? We kind of covered it. I might have been a little vague about it, but the difference is, get on those keyboards as I bowl up this first bowl of soup. Aging, that's right. That's exactly right. How long? Aging long, they're all correct. So yes. Brian George, star student. That's right. All right, I'm going to give you a close-up of this miso. And we're going to move on to making the other two dishes. There it is. To your health, guys. And in Japan, we don't drink soup with spoons. We do this. Chopsticks for bits. That's it. So there it is, miso soup. The flavor difference, when you further age miso or further ferment, it just gets more strong in flavor, which means it gets to, yellow miso in my opinion is kind of sweet, has a mild flavor. The older stuff will have a flavor like soy sauce, so it gets darker, deeper, and richer. All right, den miso time. I'm moving miso soup over. The kids are gonna be able to have that. You could throw some noodles in there. You can do whatever you want. All right, den miso. Let's make black cod, shall we? Yeah, I know, Allie's getting excited. So first, what is black cod? Also known as sable fish. We farm a lot. I mean, it's actually wild caught from Alaska. Okay, that it's just really tasty. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So sable fish black cod, high oil content, which means what? It means it won't flake apart. You can actually, it's very difficult to overcook. So I'm going to show you a miso sauce. We call this den miso, D-E-N miso, and it's basically a miso bath for just about any delicious protein you may want to eat with it, okay? So this is like a twofer because the sauce I'm going to show you lives on its own and can be slathered on anything. I like it on oily kind of seafoods, like scallops, like lobster, like shrimp. I really like it over fish. Works well on salmon. So the first piece is just going to be a sauce, and this isn't going to work real time because there's marination time, but I'm going to talk through it. I've actually, when I say I mean Tad, has actually done a lot of the prep, and we're going to be able to show you the various stages of this, okay? So miso is salty. We need to back up salty with sweet and some aromatics, which is going to be ginger, okay? So firstly, sake. Fair warning, I'm heating this pan. If this flambés, my recommendation to you guys is every ounce of alcohol, you want 1 foot of hood space. So our hood is way up here, so I can do about 4 ounces. So if you're scared of the flame, I want you to pour the alcohol in early and let it come to a boil. So be very safe because I've seen some flambe problems, all right? Tim wants to know, what's the substitute for black cod? Tim, any oily fish, anything from salmon. I like fishy fish, so mackerel's a good one. If you want to apply this to more delicate fish like halibut, I would actually not overcook it. Does that make sense? So don't go like what I'm about to show you here. Okay, so sake is going in first. I'm always going to pour away because this is a little dangerous. Will it ignite tonight? I usually use a shallow enough pan, but usually I can ignite that. That's going to come to a boil. Sake is rice beer. We're not going to call it rice wine anymore, which is nihonshu. Sorry. We're going to go mirin. 2 sugars. I like brown sugar and I like white sugar. You could pick one or the other. I'm not mad at you at all. Okay. And then we're going to go ginger, grated ginger. Okay. And I'll slow down if you want. You're like, damn, like all of a sudden we just shifted gears. Samples, swapsies for non-alcoholic friends. 86 completely. Or if they're okay with burnt off alcohol, make sure you burnt off the alcohol. So either one. All right. Now, finally, what kind of sauce is this? Where's my miso? I'm totally all over the place tonight. There it is. Perfect. So finally, miso. Okay. And again, can you use aka miso, which is red miso? 100%. But know that it will get dark. That's all. And the Nobu, you know Nobu, which is kind of the guy who made this dish famous in America, he basically used light miso. So we're showing you how to do that. All right, Allie. I have a finished one here, but I just want you to see the sauce. So there it is. Okay. Oh, picture's out again. All righty. Here, let's see if that works. All right, guys. Sorry about that. White, new challenge for next week. Oh, yeah. You fix the internet and something else goes. I'm whisking the miso in. So, Allie, if you want to come in tight. This is at a full rolling boil, guys. This is at a full rolling boil to make my miso sauce. All right, I know what happened actually. I need a better cable. So yeah, more autograph pics. I know. You were here last week. Yes. There was only a few, like 40 of us. Yeah, if the camera goes out one more time, I'm gonna incentivize you guys. If the camera goes out one more time, we're gonna send out autograph Allie and Jet pics tonight. Yes, you know we always take care of you guys. Hope it goes out. Allie's shaking her head. I'm the one who makes all the labels. Oh, everyone's happy now. Oh, now you guys are happy. Look what's happening here. this super crazy rolling boil, I'm super happy with it because I know it's burning off the alcohol, it's clarifying the sugars, and it's working the miso in. So I'm not mad at that. I want that, in fact, okay? So once I look at the bottom and I see that there are no sugar crystals and the miso is melted in, you want to turn that off. Done. Cool, Ali. Thank you so much. Everyone's hoping for that camera. All right. It is less pickle flambe. It is less pickle to flambe on a cooktop. It is. Is that an autocorrect situation? Explain that. Okay. So you take the black cod and then you marinate it. And I used a little here. I used a vac bag. But this could be anything. But I used a vac bag for a specific reason. With black cod, you want to make sure, guys, that you are covering your fish 360. Okay, yeah, this was a chamber sealer. But you could use a regular zippy bag. You could use a bowl. You could use Tupperware. The number one tip you need here is full coverage. Because what you're trying to do is lacquer the fish. Does that make sense? You want, yes, so by the way, you don't put hot fish in that. That's why we made this extra stuff to marinate with, right? We had to do a TV swap because this must cool in order to marinate fish. Now, when you submerge any protein in a medium, in a liquid, you achieve what we call in science an equilibrium. The liquid from the inside of the fish is going to get pushed out, the marinade gets pushed in, and that continues. But what gets stuck in there is deliciousness, right? The sake, the ginger, the miso, the sugar. And that's why I have this gorgeous piece of lacquered fish. All right. What we do now, I'm going to use the air fryer. So I'm going to crank my air fryer up. You're like, this is not a commercial for the air fryer. And then I'm going to cook this as I move on. But I've made one already, but I'm going to show you how I like to do it. Okay, I'm going to take. So let's take a second here. Broiler, air fryer, oven, toaster oven, also phenomenal because they're small pieces. And then, well, let me see. My marinade is really thick. I thought I used the right quantities. The consistency should be on the thick side, so you're okay. That's the real recipe. See, it barely moves. I'm not going to flip it over and take that chance, but it's definitely on the thick side. Okay, I'm going to do the air fryer with you real time because we're going to put this in there, and then we're going to move right on to steak and teriyaki. So in the air fryer, or in the oven, or in the toaster oven, let's take a little piece of pan spray. My favorite thing in the whole world. We take the marinated fish, and I want the skin side up. Okay. Like that, and I'm gonna throw that in the air fryer for you. Okay, I'll stop if I'm going too fast. Let me know. All right, guys, I'm here for you. We're cooking together. Okay, it's a very different tempo of a class. So you guys are brave, and you guys are definitely my real students that like to nerd out with me. Okay, so I'm setting my air fryer to 350 to 375 roast, and I'm gonna roast it in there for about 5 to 7 minutes. That's all this needs. But this sable fish is filleted and it is scaled. Is the fish on the foil something on top? No, nothing's on top, right? I basically just sprayed the bottom so it would release, and I'm leaving a small portion of marinade on top. If you have copious amounts of marinade, I want you to dab a little off and leave some of that flavor there, okay? Should you look at misto sprayers? Yeah, sure. Either one works for me, you know what I mean? I'm not even gonna be mad at a little bit of olive oil here. Usually I would say no, but that would be totally okay. Any oil you want, as long as it's not too flavorful. I would not do sesame oil though, all right? So the air fryer is just about done. And I'm gonna plate this in real time. And I have rice. Let's do a rice check. It's been about 20 minutes. We're on our last dish, by the way. So don't do this at home. I have Teflon fingers, okay? I have Teflon fingers. So the rice looks shiny. There's no residual moisture. When I tip the pan, no water runs out, okay? No water's running out. Oh, the kids are home. It looks translucent on top. It's still crazy hot. This is the resting phase. So by the time the steak is done, this is going to be done right here. So that's what I'm looking for. Fair deal? All right. Okay. I'm only using foil because I am a lazy chef. In a restaurant, I can fire these and then not have to clean my my roasting oven. That's all. You can lay them all nicely next to each other without foil if you want. But I love the air fryer. It's the closest thing I can get to a commercial roasting oven at home, like a broiler. So I'm gonna set that for about 6 minutes. We'll come back in 6 minutes. And you reserve about a third of a cup, a half of a cup of the marinade, bring it to the boil, and use that as the finishing. I'm gonna show you another cheat. I'm gonna put this in the microwave for about 30 seconds and then brush it on. So hot sauce goes over hot fish. I'm gonna eat that over rice. Thank you very much, by the way, Simran. Yes, air fryer 350, 375. That hot air is gonna get that beautiful roasting color there. Okay, then miso. So to review, miso sauce cools, lacquers black cod. That gets marinated at least, I would say 4 hours overnight. Then you throw it into a roasting oven or a toaster oven or a air fryer. And then we're good. We're gonna go on to our last dish. Would you be mad at me if I showed you another way to make this teriyaki? Because in my recipe, you put your soy, your mirin, your sake, and you make a sauce, and then you cool it, and then you layer it in to the pan after you sear your protein. I'm gonna show you a very mom and pop way to do it. I'm using the Titan pan now. All right? So I'm gonna do a stovetop teriyaki. Very, very Japanese home cooking. Very mom and grandma, dad, uncle, home style, okay? So I'm gonna do a pan top steak for you. This doesn't have to be steak. This can be chicken. This can be beef. This can be any protein. This could be a tofu cutlet. But I'm gonna show you another way, okay? Can I show you a really quick trip? I think I started slow, but I think I've caught up. So my number one worry is, you know, I've been cooking for 25 years. I'm gonna be brutal. We're gonna be family for a second. I love Food Network. Thank God for it. Otherwise, we wouldn't know each other. But it's made people's attention spans a little short, and the internet has done the same thing. So these old-timey cooking classes sometimes put people to sleep. And so again, I always worry if people are like, oh man, this is so slow and boring, okay? So the next few classes, I'll always vary it up and I'll warn you, all right? Okay, another trick. Some of you seen this. I know at least half of you seen this, okay? We have a box grater. Everyone has one. I want the small, smooth holes of the box grater. Small, smooth holes. You're taking plastic wrap, not a lot of it, just stretched over the small, smooth holes. Allie, if you'll join me on this one really quick. Thank you so much. Props to Allie, everybody. Take the ginger. I'm not even going to peel it. I'm going to hold down this pan. I'm going to hold down the grater, and I'm just going to go back and forth to get pure ginger. And what's happening is this is how you get pure ginger pulp, guys, right? And yeah, you're doing great. Amazing. Look at that camera angle. And all the ginger fibers stay there, and this is pure ginger pulp. That's how we do it for, thanks, Allie, sashimi and all that good stuff, all right? And then when I need it, I just pull. Look, I keep it on my station, and I still will wash this. It'll just be easier to wash, okay? Yeah, that's just really, that's normal cling film. That's nothing fancy. I don't have a special commercial grade one or anything like that, okay? Darn it, I thought we'd lose the camera on that shot. I know, we still have a few moves. We have these cool little two shots that we're gonna autograph. So let's pray for one more camera, all right? I like that better than a microplane, Terry, because microplane gives you ginger, but it gives you fiber. This technique removes all the fiber, so you have that beautiful pulp. So it's a phenomenal question. It's a very smart question. All right, I'm going for it. This is very fast recipe, a mom and pop recipe. So instead of cooking the sauce, like my recipe says, I'm gonna show you another way to do it. I've had so many really great cooking teachers my whole life, right? And this is how my sensei, my master did it. So I love that in an hour, you guys already know dashi soy mirin, so we can talk fast now. We can jump ahead. Soy sauce, mirin, sake, sugar, and I'm gonna save the ginger though for the pan, all right? And I made a little pan sauce. Now, I'm gonna give that a little whisk, but I'm gonna let the pan and the heat do the rest of the work, okay? So my sauce is done. So my pan is hot. I know, I'm super obsessed with pan spray, I'm sorry. Titan pan is brownable, plus it's nonstick. As you know, I always dab my raw proteins. Always take paper towels to them because I don't want any residual moisture. I want a nice brown. What'd I miss? So perfect. Take that plate, Allie, for me. Thank you very much. So the pan is smoking. I'm gonna go away from it, down and away, just like that. So yes, so let's talk about soy sauce really quick. This is a good, Rolando, it's a good time to talk about soy. In the context of Japanese food, dark soy and light soy, okay? Dark soy is higher sodium, think red cap. Green cap is lower sodium. So when you see differentiation in the Japanese kitchen between dark soy and light soy, that is that. In Chinese cooking, which we covered kind of briefly last week, dark soy is more of that molassesy, sweet soy, and light soy is the thin soy. So very good questions, all right? Another hack for you. Now, cooking indoors, 5 minutes, wow. Let me take a peek there. Oh yeah, that looks good. Okay, let me do this and then I'm gonna show you what that looks like. Whenever you get a lot of oil, I just take paper towels and I throw them right in there and I cover the steak. So all the oil that's popping up is being caught by that paper towel. Yo, can I say that again? I'm happy to say this again. When you have a Japanese recipe that calls for dark soy sauce, it's just basically the full sodium soy sauce. Well, I said red cap because I think we kind of know, like when you go to a restaurant, don't do this at home. Don't grab it with your hands like I'm going to right now. Okay, please don't do that. It's crazy hot, all right? But yo, look at this piece of black cod. Look at that. That's what I'm talking about right there. So all right. So I'm going to give it a quick sauce. I'm going to show you another technique too that we do in the restaurants. All right. So if you take the finished miso sauce that I reserved, if I take the miso sauce and I rub it on top like that, and then I'm going to put it back in the air fryer for just another minute, 30 seconds to a minute, it's going to melt right on and it's going to be gorgeous. Okay. So let me do that really quick. All right. Air start. Okay. Don't let me forget that, guys. Someone say in 30 seconds or 1 minute, don't let me go longer than a minute, please. Okay. Because that is just about perfect. It's going to turn into charcoal. Okay. This steak, look, the paper towel is not catching fire. It only catches fire if the paper towel is hanging over and the flame gets it, all right? But let's check the color on this steak really quick. Are we happy? Kind of happy? Is that a nice brown? That's all right? Can we go a little more? I'm gonna go a little more, all right, while we talk. Okay, guys, let's start throwing questions because I need to wait for this to brown and I'm gonna go 30 more seconds on this black cod. The model of this air fryer, and I have to be fully transparent, is a Ninja, right? I did their infomercial because I actually got to play with it and help design a few features on it. And although it's not mine anymore, we actually work with another company we're testing out right now. That's a Ninja air fryer, and it works really great. Like I've only been happy with it. I use it about 2 to 3 times a week. It is a great unit. So almost, I'm letting it melt. So if you guys have any questions, throw them at me. I'm just waiting for my steak to go a little browner. I think I'm there. Okay, so I've got a beautiful crust on one side. Yeah, I think we're good. I think it looks great. And I'm gonna go to the other side and I'm gonna let it crust up on that side. So I get the Maillard effect, the browning. And then I'm gonna pour the sauce in, okay? Rolanda, I've always been against air fryers. Are they worth it? Rolanda, we should have that conversation really quick. What I love as a 25-year chef about the air fryer is it's a very small unit that gets incredible amount of heat in a small space, which helps me brown food, like in a restaurant brown, right? Like gives me that kind of finish because of the air. It's also great for reheating fried foods, right? I have kids, man. Like our kids eat. All right, I'm just gonna be honest. I know Allie's like, don't tell them. I'm gonna tell them. Frozen French fries, tater tots, all that real food that kids eat, bro. And nothing does it like it. It's better, and it is lightning fast, and that's the reason why I like it. Okay, I'm bringing it out to you. Don't do this at home. Don't reach into a hot air fryer at home, please. All right, it is not safe. Okay, so I think I can get you a shot of it's still crispy, broily, and delicious. But that's what really beautiful black cod miso yaki should look like right there. All right, I'm gonna plate that over rice. Allie's like, I want to eat that. Okay. Questions. I have one, but it looks like it has more cooking space. Mine, yeah, the Ninja doesn't have a crazy amount of space, so, but I kind of like it. That's what I kind of like about it. You know what I mean? Allie, do you want to do, can I bug you for your fancy, one of your fancy Japanese plates? I'm going to plate that. I'm going to plate this thing. Okay? Getting an air fryer was my gateway to learn how to cook. Wow. You can do a lot in it, by the way. I'm not even kidding. Okay. So I'm just about done with teriyaki. I'm going to plate this black cod. So I'm on the home stretch here, guys. Thanks for all the patience. Chucking rice, rested 15 to 20 minutes, still hot. I haven't messed with it. Now is the time to go in and mess with it. And I'm going to show you what I'm looking for. I'm going to pull my favorite spatula, which is a flamingo spatula. And then, thank you, right there. Yeah, that's perfect. And then we're going to fluff the rice. So the third step is fluffing, okay? You want to go from the outside in. You never want to jam it down in the middle. I can't even pretend to do that because it hurts my feelings. You never want to hurt rice. Rice is delicate. So that's the fluffing of the rice right there. Okay, I'm gonna put a little piece of rice down the middle here. I'm gonna put I'm gonna add a where's my fish? Don't use your hand. Oh yeah, this is what I really should be doing. Use a pair of tongs. I'm gonna push that in there. And then I could do a little more sauce if I want. And then I have a really nice, excuse me for just 20 seconds. Allie, keep everyone busy. I'm gonna get one of my favorite condiments. If I have it, there it is. I love furikake. It's not a bad word, I promise, okay? It is a sesame seed and seaweed topping. Sometimes it has bonito flakes in it. And Rogue's even into it. Oh, you just fed the dogs. I love that. And then I've just made a little bit of black cod miso yaki. So that's it. That's one dish. If you're a sauce fanatic, cook the sauce down and do the giant drizzle. And there you go. Okay, dish one. I'm going to finish dish two now because I'm just about there. The beef is rare, but it's seared on two sides, which is the most important part. Okay, now I'm going to take my teriyaki sauce. I'm going to give it a stir. I'm counting on this heat being high still because I want to make a sauce, a pan sauce. Come on in, Allie, if you want to stir that. I'm cool with that. So Allie's going to give you a nice tight shot of what's happening in the pan. I need to cook off the sake and the mirin. And again, I'm not really scared that beef is sitting in a bunch of liquid because I've already seared both sides. And it's gonna come together very quickly. I'm gonna go grab a little bit of cornstarch and make a slurry and pull this sauce together. Now that you're there with me, I'm gonna add my ginger knob. All right, I gotta work my ginger in now. And other things that I'm okay with is if you wanna get a little Hawaiian, a little pineapple sauce, pineapple juice in here would be awesome. And then you're good. Thanks, Allie. And then I'm gonna go get some, so if you have any questions, throw them at me. I'm in my pantry right now, getting some cornstarch to make a slurry, guys. So, all right. Can you guys start thinking about Some other classes you want to see? Oh, it went out. Oh, there it is. You win. There. Yeah, I know it. It's this darn cable. Watch here. Hit it again, Allie. Guess what, everybody? Guess what? You all get, thanks, Allie. Marie says, thanks, Allie. Mary E says, we win. Marcy says, ha ha. Oh, is it working? I love it. All right. All right. We're going to put it back on again. And everyone's so happy. I love that. There it is. Congratulations, guys. It happened. You guys all get autographs. I like this little game that we play. This is so much fun. Next week we're gonna have to do it's gonna get crazy. Ante goes up every week. Next week's gonna be like bigger stuff. Okay, Allie's shaking her head. She's really not though, because we love doing this. Oh, we love you guys. All right. I love scallions. Can I come to our houses and cook? Yeah, you know what? For money, we'll do just about anything moral. So yeah, we have flied to people's homes. Are you kidding? Yeah. Scallions, I'm gonna save some for the top, but I love cooked scallions. As you guys can tell, I'm kind of a weirdo. I'm gonna take a little cornstarch, guys, and I wanna make a slurry to pull this sauce together. I've tasted this. Smooth. It's really nice because the meat juices too pull into that. And I'm gonna put a little slurry in now, and then shake this pan together and pull this into a sauce, and then I'm gonna plate this. And we're done. I'm gonna rest the steak, cut it, and take questions. How about a class on how to walk through the aisle at Asian stores? Yeah, I'm gonna shoot an entire video on pantry, but I like that. I think we should, a market would be cool. Do I add garlic? Yes, if you have garlic, cool. I'd be totally good with garlic in this. And this is where I would actually use the microplane. I think that would be a lot of fun. So Asian stores are so intimidating. Yeah, they are. I grew up in one too, and they don't make it easy. You know what I'm saying? Let's rest this steak, and then cut it, plate it, and let's converse. I think there's enough of us where I'm going to switch over. If you've never done this with me before, I'm going to switch to this view, and then we're going to take questions live. So I'm going to rest this steak as I finish this sauce up. And then we're gonna eat dinner together. So, oh no, I've over cornstarch my sauce. What do? Well, I have some options. I can chicken stock this. I can water this. I would not go back to the mirin and the sake, simply because I would need to cook it off again. So I'm just gonna do just a very scant amount of hot water and bring the sauce back. I'm actually glad that happened, so you can see in the moment how we fix things. So, all right, questions. I would love that. Any other classes, guys, that you'd be interested in doing? And how about this? I had a thought. Can I poll you guys? How about shorter classes? Like 1 or 2 dishes deeper. Like if we really deep dove into pad thai or deep dove into something. Vietnamese, if we deep dove into like stuff like that. So do you like long or do you like short? That's my first question to you guys, and I want an answer for that. Do we like this long 1 hour format, or do we want maybe shorter classes? Because this was the nerdiest I've gotten in the whole month, by the way, easily. All right, I'm gonna plate this steak up. More info is what I love. Banh mi, Korean, I like both. I like the long format, but maybe 1 hour, 1 hour is too fast. Okay, shorter classes, deeper. All right, like a really good family. This is a different. All right, so to get a consensus, I'll send out the whole thing. I like the 1 hour class. I like short because my wife and I are about to eat miso soup and cod. Oh, I like that. Very smart. All right, I'm gonna get another cutting board, a smaller gel board to cut my protein. So, okay, let's play up the last dish and let's go to Q&A. So I might be cutting the steak a little too early, but for the sake of time, I'm just gonna finish this dish up. Some of each. Vietnamese 102, 102 Thai. Okay, we have a Thai class up too, by the way. Long so we can cook along, otherwise people, yeah, okay, cool, I like that. At NYC, wine and food will go too fast. All right, can you see this steak? I think you can. So I always try to square off my steaks. This is called the chef's privilege. Whenever I've served you in my restaurants, I've kept this piece for myself because it has the perfect amount of fat and sinew for me, and I love that. So I'm just cutting it into nice clean blocks. and squared off the edges. And then I'm going to plank this steak on the plate. We say a lot of us like the deep dives, 1 hour at least. Okay, so the consensus is we like this stuff. My fear really is like putting you guys to sleep, and I don't want to do that. I'm very respectful of your time. We've been really enjoying these kind of series too. So, all right, let's get this steak on the plate. Let's get our sauce on it, and let's take questions, and let's close out the cooking part, and then let's actually have some chat and hang out. So, we're not putting you to sleep. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, cooking has changed so much over the last 20 years. You know, I started teaching in 1999, and it's, wow, chef's privilege again. And then I'm going to go ahead and sauce up now, guys. So here comes the sauce. Oh, yeah, if it goes out again, we have to give them more stuff. No, I'm kidding. Which I'm happy to do. I'm actually secretly happy because I love giving stuff away to you guys. It helps us stay connected. So teriyaki steak, I'm gonna put a little garnish on that. And what I love about these recipes, team, is it's all interchangeable. If you know those mushrooms that I didn't use completely in the actual soup, I would have thrown them in the pan. Like sauteed mushrooms with this would be delicious. Will cast iron skillet work for the steak? 100%. Cast iron will. You have, I'll do a little garnish with scallion. But you have to be careful with cast iron. If you have a lot of, I think the kids are home. If you have a lot of seasoning built up on your cast, when Halo's done, I'll tell you, but let's take a look. So that's what I'm talking about right there. So we're gonna eat really well tonight. If you have a lot of seasoning built onto the cast iron, I don't wanna work against that with the sake and the mirin. So just so you know. So that's the reason why cast iron will work totally, but just be careful. All right, I need to eat a little bit and then let's hang out. Happy, super happy. All right, guys. So, miso soup, perfect rice, miso black cod, teriyaki steak, but that could be teriyaki anything. We did it. We absolutely did it. So, like every week, we're gonna say thank you very much to Allie. Thanks for the camera work, Allie. My pleasure. And what vegetables do I suggest? Sherry, I would do any combo. I think zucchini, squash, broccoli, anything. I would love a bed of vegetables on here, simple steamed. So again, remember, you want to taste the food. And that's it. I'm going to take the camera, guys. I'm going to flip, turn this camera off. So this is an intentional camera off thing. I'm going to flip and then unplug everything and then take it. We did it. Congratulations. Okay. Thanks, everybody. It is time for Q&A. I can see everybody. So if you have a question, raise your hand and I will unmute. I'm going to ask you to unmute and let's talk. Anyone? Want to chat about anything? Okay, Chris Grimes, unmute. Yes. Hi.
Hi, I could not find yellow miso, so I used white miso.
No problem. Absolutely no problem. They're very, very similar. No big deal there at all.
I read that the yellow was a little more fermented, but I just was concerned about finding the right miso.
Here's the deal. From white to yellow, very small flavor difference. From yellow to red, huge.
Oh, yeah.
Really big. So you're good to go. Okay. You are good to go. Thanks so much. I hope you guys have fun. Okay. Keep your hands up. Okay, Mary E. Go for it. Hi. Unmute, Mary. There you go.
Hi. I was wondering if you have any new projects in the works or any new cookbooks coming out?
Thanks, Mary. Firstly, thank you very much. I just signed, well, I'm going to sign the contract for the next Thai cookbook tomorrow. So 101 Thai recipes. Yay. Very, very deeper dive. Yeah, very awesome. Deep dive into Thai food. Also, we're going into the studio for Ready Jet Cook, our Emmy nominated show in about 2 weeks. We're figuring out the whole COVID thing. And I'm probably, can I say this? We're family, right, guys? We're all family. Guy and I think there's a new show in the works. 3 of us chefs are going to go on the road and go to Middle America and cooker
Oh,
families.
fantastic.
So, there's other
Also,
stuff, but that's it. Yeah, go ahead,
I
Mary.
wanted to tell you, my husband gave me a Titan pan for my birthday yesterday.
Oh, very cool. Let me know. Post results. If you guys are on Instagram, post your dishes. I usually repost all your dishes.
Yeah,
Thanks, Mary. I
thank
appreciate you.
Thank
Have
you.
a good one. Marcy, Cuevas, what's happening? Hi, talk to us.
Now. Is there a difference between, because your original recipe said to put foil on the pan, and it's probably no different, but I used parchment. Is there some difference for some reason with the foil and the parchment?
Which dish, Marcy? The fish?
The fish. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, doesn't matter at all. Parchment, you want to be careful under direct flame, but parchment survives just about any oven setting. So direct flame, foil, indirect flame, parchment. How's that sound? Awesome. All right, who's next? Who's next? Do you like when I pin their videos so you see them? If you like that, raise your hand. If you don't, I'll just leave it on me. No matter. Okay, sounds good. Anyone with questions? Yes, Laura. What's happening, Laura? You may unmute.
Can you talk a little bit more about the red miso? I bought some
Yeah.
and not quite sure what to do with it.
Yeah, you got it. Laura, I want you to use the red miso for everything that calls for miso. Knowing, though, it has a more intense flavor, but in my opinion, a good flavor. But it's slightly a bit more salty. So when you use a recipe that calls for miso and you're using the red, maybe use about 80 to 90% first and then adjust up. But it is basically just a longer fermented soy miso, which has phenomenal flavor. But don't be discouraged. My first cooking instructor, my master, he used red miso for everything. So don't be scared of that. How's that sound? All right, who's next? Let's hang out. Anyone want to chat? Any question about anything? Okay, Brian George, what up? Talk to us.
First of all, thank you very much for the class. Great information.
My pleasure, man.
I'm going to knock out 9 of the 101 dishes so far, so thank you.
You are the man. Excellent.
Hey, you want to come say hi?
Come say hi.
Come here. Say hi.
Hi. What's your name?
Emma.
Emma?
Emma?
Yeah, go to gallery view. Everyone will say hi. Everyone gets to wave at you. How's it going? Oh, look at that. Rolanda's waving. Yeah. Any questions, Brian?
When I'm doing my dashi,
Yep.
is it possible when I add all the ingredients in, put it on low as I'm doing other parts of other dishes?
Yes.
Would that affect anything at all?
I just don't want it to come to a rolling boil for too long. Once the bonito flakes are out, you can be a little more aggressive with it, right? You just don't want it to boil because you don't want it to reduce too much, but it's really more critical during the bonito flake period.
Okay, and to kind of follow that up, if I were to get it to that low simmer and then off the heat and let it
Go
sit,
a little too far.
is there an issue with just leaving it like that?
It's all about flavor. If you feel it's a little too intense, I would back a little water into it. But
Okay.
it's totally up to you. Most of the restaurants that you eat at have a very intense instant dashi flavor, so I don't think it's going to mess with you that much. If you're a very acute aficionado, you might taste the difference, but otherwise I think you're fine.
Okay, cool.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Brian. All right, Rolando, then C. Hill. Rolando, go. You may unmute, brother.
All right. Speaking with him about how long do you let the bonito flakes and the kelp in the dashi? Like, do you cook it for like 1 hour, 2 hours? Just make it real quick.
You don't want to leave it when it gets to that close simmer. I wouldn't leave it in there for more than 5 or 10 minutes. It's very, very delicate. But once it's out, you can let the soup simmer. But while it's cooking, you don't want it to simmer too much. How's that sound? So you don't want to leave it in there too long.
Sounds good.
Thanks, man. I appreciate your time today. C. Hill, where are you? I'm juggling this whole deal. And then Simran. C. Hill, then Simran. Did I lose you? Where are you? There you are. Okay, go for it.
My question is the bonito.
Yep.
If you can use it, I saw it in is it onigiri, the
Yeah, I wanna hear it.
sandwiches.
Yes.
And if you use it in that, do you soak it first or you just put it on like a crispy condiment
No,
kind of thing?
put it right on top. You could also
Okay.
put it on salads. I put it on tofu salad. I put it as anywhere you want a little smokiness and some protein. It's a phenomenal topping. You can put it on
Right.
sandwiches. Yeah. By the way, guys, if anyone is like, yo, I'm good, I just want to say, like every week, thank you so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure to hang out with you. On the website right now is knife skills class, and then is a Thai 2 class. And then based on conversations, we'll do more. I'm going to try a short class and then another longer class. I'm going to lay off the nerdy classes and then go back to nerdy. So we'll vary it up. So if you are in a hurry and you want to go, Allie and I thank you so much for joining us tonight. If you want to hang out, I'm going to hang out for a little longer. So Simran, this is your third class. Oh yeah, aren't you tired of us yet?
It is. No, not yet. This is so fun. I'm in New York and I'm doing it at like 8:30 at night. I just made some pad thai. Didn't have the energy to cook again.
That's awesome, man.
But I will make this. A quick question though. Did you soak
Yes.
the kombu?
No, I don't soak kombu because I don't want to waste that beautiful, the natural kind of haze. It's not really sea salt, but it's just easier to call it that.
Mm-hmm.
I want that directly to get into my dashi. So you don't want to soak it.
So you put the bonito through a sieve. I saw that. And then the kombu was, yeah.
I break it off and put it right into the stock.
Okay, good to know.
You know what? I think I know what you're talking
water.
about. I think you're talking about the wakame seaweed. I do put this
No,
stuff. Oh, kombu.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't soak your kombu.
I have
Don't
kombu and
eat
I
it.
always soaked it for dashi.
Got it. No,
So,
don't
but
soak it for dashi.
That's why I was wondering. Okay.
You want the dashi to suck up all this good stuff right here. That's what you want.
Okay.
That's the magic. It's not in the middle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We actually discard it or compost. Compost. Thanks,
Yeah.
Simran. Hands, guys. Hands. Okay, yes, Terry. Talk to us.
Hey, Jet.
How are you? It's good to see you.
Nice to see you too. I missed the
Alex
first
says
Thai
hi.
class.
Oh,
So
you did?
is there a way, yeah, I had no idea that it was. I'm signed up for the second one. Can we
Message me and I'll send you the video. How's that sound?
Okay, terrific.
Anyone here basically. If you want the video to the Thai class, you all have my email. It's really me sending you messages back and forth. I've owned this whole class myself. So it's been so much fun creating community. My pleasure, Terry. It's really good to see you. Allie and the family say hi.
Oh, you know what? Also, too, one more question.
Yeah, of course.
If I want to put noodles into the soup, with miso and everything else, they should be cooked first so you don't boil it.
Good one. If you're going to use noodles, family, cook them al dente first, and then put them in hot. Right? Does that make sense? Hot broth. So udon, any kind of noodles you want, but udon would be delicious with this.
Okay, thank you.
Cool. Good to see you. All right. Few rounds. Terrence, how'd your food come out? Terrence McGee, you good? He thumbs it up. I like that. Excellent. Anyone want to chat? Last calls. Oh, good. I'm glad, brother. Melinda, do you want to chat?
Yeah, no.
Ask to unmute. But Terrence, you're good, man?
Excellent.
All right.
Thank you. Wonderful.
Got it, brother. Melinda, you may unmute. Let's talk. You're allowed. You can unmute if you want. There you go.
Hi.
We can hear you. Hi, how are you?
Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
We're well. Thank you very much.
So good to see you. Thank you for your classes. I love them so much.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I've gotten so many emails from so many students and fans and friends. How in this time of a lot of anxiety, this has really kind of been fun and created community. So thanks for joining us tonight.
You're welcome. But I've joined you for how many classes now? So I'm going to
I know
say,
you're third.
I know. Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate learning from you because I've learned so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Melinda.
And thank you, Allie, as well.
Allie, there you go. She says you're welcome. Thanks,
There
Melinda.
you go. Okay.
All right. Hey, friends. Chris Grimes, thank you. Tony Garcia, Sherry Rosenberg, Brian, Tim, Amanda, Simran, Ken, what's up, man? Kara Roberts, how are you? Zahira, it's good to see you. So those of you that were here last week, you guys, all your cards went out. today. You'll get them. Tim Manor, what's up? And tonight, guess what? I'm going to start a thread. You're going to send me your email. Alan is so happy. He just flipped on his camera to be like, yes. And you guys are going to get Jet and Allie autographs. All right. So I'll start that thread today. I'm going to stop recording now, family.